Today, I have to set aside everything else we were going to talk about. Because this morning, Sunday, May 17th, 2025, the Christian world woke up to news that stopped a lot of people in their tracks. Reverend James Robison, the founder of Life Outreach International, one of the most recognizable evangelical voices in the last half-century of American Christianity, has passed away. And I want to make sure we take this moment properly, because this man's story is not the kind of story you forget. This morning, Life Outreach International released a statement on social media. I want to read it to you in full, because it deserves to be read in full. It is with deep sadness that we share the passing of Reverend James Robison, the beloved founder of Life Outreach International. James devoted his life to sharing the gospel and bringing hope, help, and healing to those in need around the world. Together, James and Betty stewarded a ministry that has touched countless lives and will continue impacting generations to come. Though we grieve this tremendous loss, we also celebrate a life faithfully lived in service to God and others. In the months and years ahead, we will faithfully carry on the mission James cared about so deeply, bringing food to the hungry, water to the thirsty, and mostly, the hope of Christ to a hurting world. The mission James gave his life to will continue with the same heart, compassion, and commitment that partners like you have faithfully helped make possible. In the coming days, we will share additional updates as we move forward together. For now, we ask you to join us in praying for Betty, the Robison family, and the entire Life Outreach Ministry family around the world. Well done, good and faithful servant. Matthew 25:21. Life Outreach International Board of Directors and Ministry Family. Well done, good and faithful servant. That's the verse they chose. And when you understand how James Robison lived his life, where he started, what he built, and who he served, you understand why. Because here's the thing about James Robison that a lot of people who watched him on television never fully knew. His beginning was not glamorous, it was not comfortable, it was not easy. He was born on October 9th, 1943, in the charity ward of a Houston hospital. His mother, a home health nurse, had been assaulted by a patient she was caring for. She conceived her first and only child under those circumstances, and she sought an abortion. A doctor refused. So James Robison entered the world in poverty, with no father, and a mother who placed an ad in a local newspaper, looking for a family who could take care of her son. A pastor named H.D. Hale and his wife answered that ad. And for the first 5 years of his life, James Robison was raised in that home. When he was 5, his mother took him back. She eventually married the man who had assaulted her. His biological father was an alcoholic. It was a volatile, painful household. And yet, out of all of that, came one of the most enduring evangelical voices in American history. He entered ministry as a teenager. By the time he was 18, he was preaching in churches. By his 20s, he was filling stadiums. 60-plus years of ministry, friends. Over 600 citywide evangelistic crusades. More than 20 million people in attendance just at the crusades alone. The man was a force. But what I want to spend time on today, because I think it often gets overshadowed by the television profile, is what James Robison and his wife Betty actually built through Life Outreach International. He launched his daily television program Life Today with Betty in 1995, and it became one of the most watched Christian programs on the planet, airing across networks like Trinity Broadcasting and Daystar, with a potential viewing audience of over 1 billion people worldwide. 1 billion people. And through that platform, the Robisons didn't just preach. They showed people the work. They brought cameras to the places most of us would never go. The villages without clean water, the communities without food, the children without shoes. Through Life Outreach International's Water for Life program, they helped dig more than 9,500 water wells, providing clean water access to over 9.5 million people. Let me say that again. 9.5 million people with clean water who might not have had it otherwise. Their Mission Feeding initiative currently provides nourishing food to more than 350,000 children every single day across Africa. Every single day. And beyond that. Disaster relief, anti-trafficking work, shoes for children in vulnerable communities so they wouldn't sustain injuries walking barefoot across dangerous terrain. This wasn't a ministry built on hype. It was built on work, on sacrifice, on what James Robison called the practical expression of the gospel. I want to be honest with you, because that's what this channel is about. James Robison was not without controversy in his lifetime. In the late 1970s, he made statements about homosexuality that cost him his television slot in Dallas. In the early 1980s, he became deeply involved in conservative politics, speaking at the National Affairs Briefing, influencing Ronald Reagan's campaign, becoming one of the most prominent religious voices in the culture wars of that era. And then, almost without warning, he stepped away from all of it. He said publicly that his schedule had consumed him, that the fame and admiration had changed him into someone he didn't recognize anymore. His wife Betty agreed. So he pulled back. He refocused. He moved from pure political advocacy into compassion-driven outreach. He changed his theological orientation from traditional evangelicalism into the charismatic movement. He and Betty became members of Gateway Church in the DFW area, and he spent the rest of his decades building wells, feeding children, and airing the gospel to 1 billion potential viewers. Whatever your theological tradition, whatever your political leanings, that kind of personal recalibration takes courage, and the fruit of it speaks for itself. 9.5 million people with clean water. 350,000 children fed every day. Decades of television ministry. A wife and partner who stood beside him through all of it. Betty Robison. In the days ahead, she is the one I ask you to think about and to pray for. 60-plus years of shared ministry, shared sacrifice, shared vision. They lost their daughter Robin to throat cancer in 2012. And now, Betty faces this. The Life Outreach International family has asked for prayers for Betty, for the Robison family, and for the entire ministry team around the world as they move forward. In their statement, the board made something clear. The mission will continue. The food, the water, the gospel. James Robison gave his life to building an institution that could outlast him. And the board has committed to carrying forward what he built, with the same heart, the same compassion, and the same commitment. That's not always a given when a ministry founder passes. It's worth acknowledging that they said it clearly and publicly on the same day they announced his death. There will be a time for comprehensive retrospectives, for detailed assessments of his full theological legacy, his political history, the full arc of his life. But today is not that day. Today is for the family, for Betty, for the thousands of people around the world whose lives intersected with James Robison's ministry and were genuinely changed by it. Today is for the 9.5 million people who have clean water because he picked up a camera and said, "Look at this. We can fix this. Will you help?" The Christian world has lost one of its most enduring voices. And however you feel about televangelism, about Christian television, about the era he came from, you cannot look at what Life Outreach International has built in the physical world and call it anything less than extraordinary. If you're part of the Life Outreach ministry family watching this, we see you. We're praying with you. Please like this video if it was helpful. Subscribe if you're new here. We cover faith, accountability, and the stories that matter in the Christian world. And drop a comment below. Share your memory of James Robison or simply share your prayers. Until next time.